Begads, I'm fairly deep, two readings, probably about 20 minutes into My Lord Elephant, a Mulvaney story by Rudyard Kipling in this collection, Many Inventions. Yes, Many Inventions is what it's called, this collection. And it's a Mulvaney story, which is notable because Kipling has gone back again and again to Mulvaney, Orthris, Jock, I think, a couple of various this soldier group of the salt of the earth dudes who are the kind of the grunts of the British Empire and telling stories from their point of view, especially Mulvaney, who is a loquacious, hard-drinking Irishman. It is completely a kind of a cliched drunken Irishman. This guy's gotten busted down so many times, just wants to get pissed, have a good time, kind of that sort of thing. It does allow Kipling to really indulge in what he's good at, which is storytelling through Mulvaney. Mulvaney is a great spinner of yarns, and in this story, he's talking about the time when he's come face to face with a wild charging elephant. Basically, on the occasion that they're dealing with a really pissed off royal elephant that has been dragooned into dragging the great big guns of the British Empire, their heavy artillery, and does not want to be doing this and is pissed by it and has been sent back to the back of the line, which has probably offended the elephant in some way. At least that's how it's portrayed by Kipling. So he's talking about the story of, he wanted to go off to go drinking. He says, like, to promenade is what he says. An Irish accent. I'll get to that in a second. And he punches the guy who's trying to make him do that, gets sent off to the clink. But as he's getting sent off to the clink, not their clink because it's got cholera in it, but a clink a ways off on the other side of Cow Power. Suddenly there's an officer comes pelting down the thing. It's like, dives into a sewer thing. And the office, I guess the guys seeing it, like, know it's about to happen. They free him. Say, like, whatever, on your honor, just kind of make it back to the clink when you get a chance. But at the moment, we all have to run. And why they have to run is this pissed off gigantic elephant is running down the street after this officer, and indeed, like their dog Vixen that they have with them at the moment, this little tiny dog that they have that seems to kind of hold sway over all the big dogs, it's run after this guy and is trying to fish him out of a drain pipe. And Mulvaney watches this and is like kind of bemused by it, and then it suddenly looks up and it says, "Oh, you're the guy. You're the officer." Starts chasing him, chases him into a place where Mulvaney uses the N-word multiple times to describe the people who are in there, who all pile out when this elephant comes in, starts smashing the shit out of stuff. Mulvaney gets some whiskey because he's an Irishman, and he'll start drinking at the drop of a hat. And they're watching this, and he ends up on the back of an elephant. The elephant charges out of there. He keeps it distracted by banging the hell out of it with an empty rifle that he'd snatched up. And it's taken him back to the parade grounds. Mulvaney is telling this story, and Kipling is a proponent of using dialect, of using kind of transcribed things. One thing, one, instead of saying one thing, it's won, W-O-N, or "How the devil did you do that? You might as well put it in the barrack. Might as well pat the barracks." It's very much using, he's diverting himself, I says, using all the kind of things, which I have to say does actually, it's one of these things of like, Kipling is using it to kind of give you these comedic portraits of people, but he's very good at dialect. He's very good at getting the dialect. He definitely has the ear for it. So even while it's something like it makes me feel uncomfortable that you got this Englishman doing a kind of a Irish caricature, it kind of gives his Irish character a kind of a life and a vitality to it. It gives his language a life and vitality to it that it wouldn't have if he was using his proper English diction, like the proper English diction that the narrator of the story is using. That is told in a, I'm sure, very upright British accent, whereas the characters that he wants to look down on are all using kind of colorful dialect, which does give it some power. So it's one of these things of people hate that fucking dialect, but I have to say, reading it out loud, it really gives it a verve that it would not have otherwise. So I don't know, government elephant, that's GOV dash MENT, and then elephant, ELEPHINT. It gives it a character. So I don't know how I feel about that. I enjoy reading it. I have to say, I enjoy reading it. It gives it an extra challenge, but it also gives it an extra flavor of like, oh, this is what this character would sound like. This does give me more of a character of Mulvaney rather than Mulvaney, this Irishman, given an English, just me reading the English, what it would sound like. It would sound like this rather doinky Canadian reading it instead. That's what it is. All right, the issues, like the politics of language. It's like an Englishman using dialect, an Anglo-Englishman using dialect for an Irish character, a drunken, good-for-nothing, salt-of-the-earth Irish caricature. It's like I'm sure the Irish feel really wonderful about that. Actually, I know they probably are not great with Kipling, because I'm pretty sure Kipling was like, crush the Irish and keep the British rule there, because we're the only ones. Much like his views on India, it's like the Irish and the Indians are both children that benefit from the firm, steady hand of the adult English. It's like, fuck you guys, fuck you as a colonial asshole. Well, I'm a colonial asshole, I guess, but as somebody who had relatives who were lived in England and would look down on Canadians, it's like, fuck you. Actually, UK, because it was Scottish people who were also looking down on me. Actually, it's more the Scots that were looking down on Canadians than others. Fuck you all. It just like individually look down on me, but don't look down on me for being Canadian in particular. Other than our own. Our complicated history, your complicated history, and all that. All right, I will leave it there.